me looking all festive and shit today.
Yes, bitch!
What the fuck is up, my britches? If you are new here, hello, and welcome to the last episode of Britchmas, the last upload of 2019. Happy motherfucking New Year, britches! Today's video is going to be my favorite makeup products from 2019. So last year I did this video and I talked about one item per category. I did it almost like an award show. This year I wanted to change it up. I almost did that this year, but I wanted to change it up this year and just talk about the products that I just really fell in love with this year. Most of them I believe were launched this year, or I purchased them for the first time this year. And then there's gonna be some other ones that I've talked about countless times on my channel, and I just wanna keep reiterating how much I love these products to you guys. So that's going to be the plan of attack for today's video. So if you are looking for a specific category, I'm going to leave timestamps down below per each category. I'm going to have links to everything down below. There are going to be affiliate links down there as well. And if you're ever wondering what links are affiliate links, you'll always see them marked with 2 asterisks before it. This video is already going to be long as fuck, so I'm just going to jump right in, and we're going to start with my face primer. So I'm sure a lot of you are thinking the Tatcha Silk Canvas, still one of my favorites, but this is the one that really blew me away this year. This is the Good Molecules Silicone-Free Priming Moisturizer. I just heard Kate the Great mention this in her Best in Beauty, and I'm like, thank God I'm not the only one, because we just received this. This was sent to me in PR. I just received this like maybe a month ago. I fucking love this. I think makeup lays so nicely on top of it. And I love the fact that it's not scented. It's just like a really hydrating primer. It's so nice. Like, it feels like it's a moisturizer. Priming moisturizer is the best name for this. I love the packaging. I love just everything about Good Molecules. I think they're really great quality products for a really affordable price. I was not expecting to like this really at all, so I was really surprised at this one. I mean, don't get it twisted. I still love my Tatcha Silk Canvas, but this is the one that really blew me away, and I just think everything lays so nicely on top of it. I do have it on my skin right now. I just think it's such a beautiful primer. I don't know if I would love this necessarily in other months. Like, I love this for winter because I'm so dry, but I'll be curious to try this out throughout the year. But as of right now, this was my favorite primer in 2019. The next thing I want to mention is the Becca Under Eye Perfector. I hear Samantha Ravindell talk about this all the time. I love this for just like prepping my under eye because I think it really helps with the cancellation of my darkness. I don't have a lot of darkness, but I love the luminosity that this gives my under eye as well. I really need to get a new one of these. I have the shade, I think this is light medium. So it's just a really nice, like, peachy tone under eye corrector. I started reaching for it, and then now I have a hard time not reaching for it. I didn't use it today. I tried to use a different concealer today to see if it caused any creasing. I'm doing some testing right now. So this is not on my face today, but I have been really loving this in 2019. The next product is going to be a concealer, but this is going to be the concealer that I use for spot concealing. So if I have pimples or darkness or anything like that, this is always the one that I use now. This is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Custard. I have been loving this, and I made quite a dent in this year. I never used to use concealers like this just because I personally like just like a liquid concealer. I'm still looking for like my concealer for like my under eyes and stuff, but this is the one that I always reach for, especially for, I have this like little dark spot right here. I didn't use this today because I tried using some other products to see if it would cover it.
It doesn't.
This one doesn't completely cover it, but I feel like this covers it the best. But anytime that I have pimples or anything like that, I just love this because I could just either dip my finger in it and just kind of pop it right on over. I think now that I'm a little bit more tan, I do need to get a different shade. So this is going to be when I'm more fair, but I always put like a foundation or something on over it anyways. But I've been really liking this because it does give me that extra coverage, but this is just a newer product for me. And I'm really surprised at just the dent that I made in this year. So this is my go-to for spot concealing. I don't have like an under eye concealer or like a liquid concealer for 2019 though. So if you guys have any recommendations on concealers, let your girl know. Okay, foundations. First one I'm going to talk about is not technically what I use for a foundation. I use this as a cream bronzer. This is the Makeup Revolution Fast Base Stick Foundation. I use the shade number 13. This is like my perfect cream bronzer. I love the shade of this so much. I would probably have to go a little bit darker for my complexion right now, but just look at that. Look at that shade. It's perfect. The formula of this reminds me of like a more emollient version of the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. I don't like this formula for all over my face, but for my bronzer, it's like top notch. I used the shit out of this year. And then now for my, traditional foundation, I have 3 of them. So the first one is going to be I think this is my number one in my collection. Like, I love this foundation so much, and I feel like I talk about it nonstop. The Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation. Bitch. Like, this is such a good foundation. It's so user-friendly. It's so buildable. It's just so natural looking on the skin. I feel like, honestly, if I freelanced, this would be the foundation that I would use because I feel like it looks so gorgeous on the skin. It just looks so natural. The Healthy Foundation is the perfect name for it because it just makes your skin look healthy. The only thing that I don't really love about it, which I'm more of a fan of now because of how I do my complexion and I don't really wear that much foundation anymore, the only thing I don't really love is the fact that it has like the applicator. I wish it had a pump. That's the only thing that would make it like that much better. But for being a drugstore foundation, like the packaging is everything. It's so beautiful. I would gladly pay like $60+ for this formula. Physicians Formula, don't raise the price on us, but I'm telling you, this foundation is so fire. Well worth the price of a drugstore foundation. And then these next two are going to be new for me this year. First one is going to be the Dior Air Flash. This is so hyped up for such a good reason. But if I did not do my complexion routine the way that I do now, I would never buy this because I would fly through it because I would use so much of it. Like, it is such a natural looking foundation, but I feel like you would use so much of it if you do like a full face of foundation. It's very buildable, like your face looks airbrushed. It just looks so natural. Like, I feel like between these two, these are like the ultimate like bridal foundations. I freaking love it though. I have the shade, I think it's 400 in this one. It's probably like my skin tone right now, maybe a little bit darker. Like, this is my summer shade, but I really fell in love with that foundation this year. And then the other one is going to be the Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation. This is what's on my skin right now. I would be very curious though to pair these two side by side just to see how different they are because they remind me a lot of each other. The only thing with this one though is the undertones are fucked up with this one. Like, I would have ordered the wrong shade probably like 6 times because of how just weird the undertones are. I wear the shade 320N. That's what my skin tone is right now. I think it's a beautiful foundation. I think it lasts all day long and it just makes your skin look dewy, luminous, healthy. Like, it just gives you that glowing looking skin, which I'm all about that life. I will say though, with the 3 that I chose, I would not recommend them. Like, if you're looking for a matte foundation, these are all going to give you that like natural looking skin, borderline like luminous dewy skin. But if you're looking for a matte finish, I would probably not recommend any one of those unless you're like really dry skin. Maybe. Oh, these next products, they just make me feel so good inside. This year was the year of like creams, liquids, all the complexion products for bronzers, contours, highlighters, blushes. I love them so much this year. So I'm going to start with my contours. The 2 contours that I really love this year are the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour One in the shade Fair Medium. And then the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Glow. It's like a liquid bronzer in the shade Warmth. Everybody always bitches about this packaging. I love it. I am almost out of this though. I use the shit out of this. This is what's on my face right now for my contour. I love this so much. It looks so intense and so just intimidating. Like, when you swatch it, like, look how dark that looks. But it blends out so nicely and it looks so natural on the skin. Oh, I love these so much. Like, Charlotte Tilbury, you were my girl this year. If I were to choose between the Charlotte Tilbury and the Bare Minerals, I would still choose the Charlotte Tilbury because I feel like it's a little bit more like user friendly. It's very natural looking, which I still feel like the Bare Minerals is as well. But with this one, I like it for different reasons. Like, I still apply it the same way majority of the time, but I like that this is pretty universal. Whereas if you have a foundation that's just a little bit too light, you could put like a pump of this in it just to deepen it up a little bit. Give yourself a little bit more warmth. So I do really like that about this. I don't typically use it for that. I just use it to, you know, contour my face. But I definitely do prefer the Charlotte Tilbury over the Bare Minerals, but I do really like both of these. My liquid and cream blushes. Oh, these were my favorite this year. So the first one is going to be the Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand High Blush in the shade Pinkgasm. This just makes my face look so beautiful, so natural. It gives me such a nice flushed look to my skin, but it has a really nice luminosity. Like, I don't have to use a highlighter when I use this on my cheeks. Like, you can see the sheen right there. It's so stunning, so beautiful. I love this all year long, so beautiful. I want to get the shade, they have another one, I think it's called Peachgasm. Oh my god, the shade of this reminds me a lot of NARS Orgasm. I don't know if they're identical or not, but just look at that. It's so beautiful. It looks so beautiful on the skin. This was definitely one of my favorite liquid blushes for 2019. I also really fell in love with these Flower Beauty blush bombs. I have 4 different shades in this. These are just such a nice, affordable option. They don't have that sheen like the Charlotte Tilbury does. They're a lot more pigmented. Like, a very little goes a long way. I use the shade, I think it's Cinnamon. This is the one that I use the most. This would be like my day-to-day shade, but I also really love the shade Bitten. I'm going to show you how intense this is. Like, it is straight up pigment. Super pigmented, like very little goes a long way. Like, these will last you forever, and they're like $7. They're from Flower Beauty. I get mine at Ulta. I'm gonna show you Cinnamon just because this one's my go-to. Like, I love tones like this. They just look so nice on my skin tone. Love it. I fell so hard in love with these. Out of the 4 that I have, Bubbly would be my least favorite. Like, you cannot see this on my complexion, but I like this to really tone down these 2 shades right here. So if I have Melon or Bitten on my cheeks and I'm like, whoa, it's way too intense, if I put some Bubbly in there or if I mix it with it, it just really tones it down in a really natural looking way. So I'm very happy to have it. I just don't use that one by itself, but Cinnamon is definitely my favorite in that collection. And then my last blush is going to actually be a cream blush. The Tower 28 Beach Please, what is this even called? The Beach Please Luminous Tinted Balm in the shade Golden Hour. I wear the shit out of this blush. It is so good. It's what's on my face right now. My favorite thing about this, though, is the shade of it. I think it's so unique to my collection. I don't think I've ever seen like an orange blush like this, especially in a cream formula. I love the packaging on this. I think this is like high quality packaging, even though it doesn't look like anything special. I just really love that it's like, I don't know, it feels almost like acrylic. I really love everything about this. I love that it's clean beauty. Like, Tower 28 was a new clean beauty brand at Sephora that launched in 2019. I did a whole dedicated video to this brand on everything that they launched, but this was the standout for me. I think if I were to pick any of the liquid blushes, like liquid and cream blushes that I have for this year, this is probably the one that I use the most and probably my favorite. I'm having a hard time choosing between the Charlotte Tilbury because Charlotte Tilbury gives me like a highlighted look to my skin, whereas the Tower 28, it gives me more of like a dewy look to the skin. So it's very different. So I like both, but if I were to pick between the 2, I think I would pick the Tower 28 though. Like, especially the shade. I love the shade of it. I think it's just so beautiful. So those are my cream and liquid blushes for 2019. Okay, next thing up is going to be my liquid highlighter for 2019, the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter for a Superstar Youth Glow. This is so beautiful. I initially did a first impression on this, and this is exactly why you shouldn't listen to first impressions videos, because I initially was like, I don't understand the hype of it. I don't understand why people talk about this so much.
Oh boy, was I wrong.
Because this is one of the most beautiful products in my collection. It looks so natural on the skin, and I love the fact that you could use this as like a foundation. I don't use it for that. I use it on the high points of my face, so I use it as like a liquid highlighter. This is like the most perfect bridal highlight. It's so beautiful. My favorite thing about this though is the fact that you could put it on top of powders and it does not disturb your powders. It's crazy. Like, it almost feels like it has some sort of like skin smoothing effect. It's so bizarre. It's so beautiful. It's what's on my cheeks underneath my powder highlighter right now. It's gorgeous. I know you could see that. It's gorgina.
Gorgina.
I still can't get over how wrong I was about this in my first impression, because I'm like, I cannot be without this now. So that's going to be it for my creams and liquids. Now let's get into my powders. So my favorite face powder of 2019 is going to be the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. I just think this looks the most flattering on my skin, especially my under eyes, because I do have texture, fine lines, and all that fun stuff. It's what's on my face right now. I have it right in my T-zone. It just gives everything like a blurred effect. It gives me a little bit of a luminosity, which I live for. I'm telling you, I live for these types of products. I think they're so beautiful. Hourglass is one of my favorite brands, so I mean, I had to mention this one again. And then while we're on the topic of Hourglass, let me just shove this down your throat for the millionth time by now. The Hourglass Ambient Bronzing Powder. It's still my favorite bronzer. It's what's on my cheeks right now. It's gorgina, okay? I don't need to say anything else except for this is still like, if I got rid of everything in my collection, like all of my bronzers, this would be the one that I would keep. This would be the one that I would repurchase over and over and over again, but I mean, I've had this for years and still haven't had to repurchase it yet, so well worth the investment in my opinion. And then one more bronzer I want to mention. I want to say I mentioned this last year, but this is my favorite contouring powder. This is the Marc Jacobs Omega Bronzer in the shade Tantastic. Not a new product. Did this become permanent this year, or did they like add on to the collection? I can't really remember, but this is still like my favorite contouring powder, so another product that I just want to shove down your throat for the millionth time. Now let's move on to highlighters. Oh, highlighters, yes bitch. So first one I wanted to mention, I was not expecting to love this as much as I do. This is the Tom Ford Sheer Highlighting Duo in the shade Reflex Gilt. I received this as a gift, and then I just started kind of using it here and there, and I just love how just flattering it looks on my skin. It just sits so nicely on my skin, and it just looks so smooth. And I love the fact that I could use either one of these shades all year long. I love the fact that there's like 2 in 1, so I can mix them if I want. I really love these. Packaging is so fucking bougie, so that's always an added plus. This is not a new product by any means, but it's just a new one for me that I fell in love with it this year, so I wanted to mention it. The next highlighter I want to mention, I don't think I talked about this like really at all this year. This is the Eclipse highlighter in the shade Luna from Elsie Cosmetics. This one, I want to say it surprised me, but I heard a lot of people raving about it, so I'm not that surprised, but this is going to be what the shade looks like. I almost bought the more goldy tone one, but I'm actually pretty happy that I bought this one because I feel like I could use it all year. This was in the running for when I just did my top 5 most blinding highlighters. It's so beautiful. Like, swatch porn. Love it. It's just such a beautiful formula. When you first touch it, it feels almost like a baked formula, but once you get into it, it gets more of like that creamy feeling to it. It's really beautiful. It's a really blinding highlighter. I really love it. Very flattering on my textured skin, so that's definitely one of my favorites. And then I think the packaging's super cute, and then I love just the whole just aesthetic of this, I think is really beautiful. Then my next highlighter is actually going to be a highlighter palette. This is going to be from Gerard Cosmetics. This is the Starlit palette, and I believe this is the shade Starstruck. It has the shades Grace, Marilyn, and Lucy in here. So we have Grace, Marilyn, Lucy. At least I think that's how they are. My favorite is going to be the shade Marilyn though. I feel like every time that I wear this, somebody is asking what I'm wearing on my face. And when you swatch it, it doesn't look like anything spectacular. But I initially bought this formula when they first launched, like years ago. And then I was talking to Jen and she said that they reformulated. So I tried it out again. This is so much better than the original formula. It's so much smoother and it's so much more flattering on the skin. I was also told that it was an Amrezy dupe, but I don't think that it is. I think it's a little bit lighter, but it is still like a really beautiful highlighter. And I love the fact that I can mix all 3 of these, especially being a little bit more tan right now. I just self-tanned. I can use all 3 of these and I think that they work really well together. So this was another favorite of 2019. But my favorite highlighters of 2019, my Lunar Beauty Moon Prism Powders. Beautiful packaging. Like, look at this packaging. It's everything. Beautiful formula. This is what's on my face right now. I have the shade Mars. Do I need to say anything else? Because these are fucking gorgina. Like, I don't understand how not everybody is talking about these because they're so beautiful. So these are my number 1 highlighter of 2019. I'm skipping over the brows because Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz is still my favorite. We'll talk about mascara. My favorite mascara of 2019 is the Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara. I love this so much because it's a tubing mascara. It's so easy to get off, but when you first apply it, it's super black and it makes my lashes blend with my false lashes. I very rarely just wear mascara. It's almost like I put mascara on and I put my false lashes on. I never really wear just mascara. That's why I really like this because it just hides my lashes with my falsies. It's super black. It's just really nice to take off. That's the biggest thing that I like so much about it. I wish that this didn't have like a plastic applicator because sometimes it is a little bit aggressive on my eye, but I don't know if you'd be able to do a tubing mascara with like a traditional like brush applicator, you know, but I do really love the formula of this. I love how easy it is to come off. The next thing I fell in love with is a Lash Glue. This is the Duo 2-in-1 Brush On Strip Adhesive. I just bought this like a month ago. Obsessed with it already. I love the fact that it's 2 different adhesives, like you get a black and a clear. I fucking love that. I've been using black so much more recently, but I never ever used to use black glue. I always would use clear, but I love the fact that you have options. Your girl loves to have options, so I really love this, and I think it really holds on to those lashes. So this is my favorite Lash Glue of 2019. For sure. I'm going to talk about these 4 brushes really quick, and then I'll get into my lip products and then my eyeshadows. So the first brush I want to mention is the Sephora 64 brush. This was the best brush find of 2019. I fucking love this brush. It's the Pro Diffuser number 64 from the Sephora Pro collection. I love everything about this. I love the fact that I could do a full face with this. Like, I could use just this brush for everything on my entire face. I love that. I feel like it's the perfect size. Like it fits just perfectly all over my face. I can get underneath my eyes. I can do everything with this. I fucking love this brush. You guys have heard me talk about this time and time again. This would be my #1 brush recommendation of 2019. Next brush I want to mention is from Melt Cosmetics. This is the 87 Transition. This is the one that I used for that pink shade in my crease today. I just love this. I love the aesthetic of it. I love that it's gold. I love that it's tapered. I love that it's weighted. Like, this is such a nice brush. I was not expecting this to be as nice as it is. This is going to be a synthetic brush, but I love it for just that all over blown out crease. Love this brush. Very unexpected brush that I fell in love with this year. The next one is going to be the Sigma E27 Detail Blending Brush. This is just such a nice, precise crease brush. This is what I used today. So beautiful. I love the fact that you can get a really nice precise crease. You can get everything like padded in the outer corner. You can get the inner corner. You can get the under eye lash line. I love this brush. It's almost like the E25, but just a little bit smaller. It's perfection. I love this brush. And then this last brush is going to be my favorite eye brush of 2019. This is the ESUM W21. I got this when I purchased the Michelle Wong like collection. This was in there. I fucking love this brush. If you're new here, hello, my name is Brittany and I'm addicted to multi-chromes. This is the best brush for multi-chromes, foiled shadows, like all those types of shadows. This picks it up so nicely. Oh my god, I used to rave about my MAC 242. If you missed out on the 242, this is the one that you want to get. It's such a nice brush. Brushes are done. Let's talk about lips. So I want to talk first about a collab in 2019. First one is going to be the Ofra Cosmetics lip set. This was in collaboration with Samantha March. I loved all 3 of these shades in here. I did a swatch video on, I think I did it on my Instagram. I love all of these shades in here. It has the shades Pasadena, Olas, and Manila. I really love this formula, the Ofra Cosmetics liquid lips. They're so comfortable, they're so long lasting, and they're like long lasting liquid lipsticks that don't destroy your mouth. Like you could take it off at the end of the day and your lips feel totally fine. They don't feel crusty or anything like that. Such a nice liquid lipstick formula, so I was really happy to support my girl Samantha on this one. Another favorite liquid lipstick from this year was from Lunar Beauty. This is the liquid lipstick in the shade Daydream. I love this formula, but Daydream was my favorite. I think I got everything in the Strawberry Dream collection and the Moonspell, but this one, it's so good. This formula reminds me a lot of like a more liquidy version of the Ofra Cosmetics, but the scent of it, it smells so good. It smells like cupcakes or like frosting. So bomb, but that's a shade. That's what's on my lips right now. I fucking love this formula so much. It's very comfortable. It's not as long lasting. I would say that the Ofra Cosmetics is more long lasting, but I love just the comfort of this liquid lipstick. So that's one of my favorites. Now I'll talk about my favorite lipstick of 2019, and that's the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick. This is the matte, was it the Matte Revolution formula, I think? This is just a really nice matte lipstick formula, and it's more long lasting. Like, it glides on so nicely. It's buildable. It's not like one swipe application. Like, I have to go over it a couple times, but it's the most comfortable, like, matte formula that I think I've ever tried. So I really do like this. And then the shade of it is everything. Like, she has an entire Pillow Talk collection. Pillow Talk is just like a universally flattering shade, I guess you could say. So that's my favorite lipstick of 2019. And then the packaging on this is just everything. It's so beautiful. Now let's talk about lip glosses. If you're not new here, you know I'm a glossy hoe. I love a good glossy lip. First one is an oldie but a goodie, the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb. But Fussy is my favorite now. I used to love the original like Fenty Glow, but Fussy is my new fave. I fucking love this formula so much. I'm like almost down to the bottom. That's how I know how much I love this. So this is an oldie but a goodie, so I don't need to say too much about it. One of my favorite lip gloss formulas of all time. It's so beautiful. This is the Tower 28, what is this called? The Shine On Lip Jelly in the shade Chill. So this is going to be just your traditional like clear gloss. So wet and juicy. Look at that. Oh, it's so good. It smells like, it has like a coconutty smell. I think it has coconut oil in it. So beautiful. I really, really love, just look at that. I really love this formula so much. So that was a favorite of 2019. And then my other favorite formula of 2019 is from Lunar Beauty. I have the shades Dreamy and Enchantment. I have the shade Enchantment. That's what's on my lips right now. And then the shade Dreamy is just like a really beautiful, just peachy gloss. It's so beautiful. It's going to be this one right here. It's very different though. Like at first I wasn't really a fan of it because it feels very thick on the lips, but this is one of the most long-lasting lip gloss formulas that I've ever tried. I will apply this like in the morning and I'll still feel it like hours later. Whereas with most, I feel like they wear off within like an hour. This one lasts significantly longer, so I'm a big fan of these. I'll give you guys a swatch of Enchantment too if you guys want to see that as well. It just has a really nice like fluorescence to it. Oh, it's so beautiful. Again, that's what's on my lips right now. Oh my gosh, and then I almost forgot. Favorite lip liner of 2019 is the Gerard Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Share. I love these lip liners so much, and they're so affordable because I feel like Gerard Cosmetics is like always on sale. But this shade in particular is like a My Lips But Better. So beautiful, such a good shade, such a good formula. It's very long lasting on my lips, but it's like creamy when you apply it, but it lasts so nicely. This is my favorite lip liner of 2019. Let's get into, we have eyeshadows and then eyelashes, and then I think that's everything. So, rapid fire. Natasha Denona, she was killing it with the eyeshadow palettes this year, and I feel like I've talked about these so much on my channel, so I don't really need to like show them off and all that stuff. Oh, these palettes are so good. So we have the Mini Nude palette, the Mini Gold palette, and the Metropolis palette. I'm going to show my favorite, and that's the Metropolis palette. I just love everything about this. I know it's so fucking expensive, but I just love the color story on this. This just screamed my name. I fucking love it. It's so different too. Like the formula on it is so different. I feel like this was very much like a love it or hate it palette, but I really did love this one. So Metropolis was definitely my favorite, but these two mini palettes, they're so good. Was Mini Nude new this year? This is the problem with these year-end videos. I'm like, was this launched? I don't even remember if this was launched in 2019 or not. Either way, these were still some of my favorites, but I know the Mini Gold. I'll show you the Mini Gold too, just in case you haven't seen it. The only thing that I don't like about this is I feel like I get stuck with my looks. Metropolis, it just has so many options. That's why that one's my favorite, but this is such a beautiful, just olive tone mini palette. I love it. Okay, next palette is going to be from a new brand for me this year in 2019, the Melt Cosmetics Muerte palette. I just love how different this is from my collection. I did a full review on it if you guys want to go watch that, but in summary, this is just one of my favorite palettes from 2019 because it's so different and the packaging is just everything. I fucking love the packaging, but it's so good. It's so beautiful. So this was another favorite of 2019. Next two palettes are going to be from Lunar Beauty. You guys have heard me talk about Lunar Beauty so much. Like, Manny, sponsor your girl. Sponsor your girl in 2020. I'm just saying. But the Moonspell, this was probably my favorite palette of 2019. I don't think this palette is for everybody, but for a green-eyed gal like myself, this is just the color story that I gravitate towards because it makes my eyes really pop. This is going to be the palette that's on my eyes today. I have the shade Paige, Sabrina, and then Phoebe and Prue are also on my eyes as well. And then I have another shadow I'm going to be talking about in a minute. So this was, I think, my favorite palette of 2019 just because I love the color story of it so much. Like, it's so me. I love it. And then the Strawberry Dream is just, oh my god, this is what made me like really fall in love with Lunar Beauty because his formula is just so fucking bomb. I love these, and this Blue Diamond, I cannot open this palette without swatching this. It's just, it's so good, so unique, so beautiful. I love the formula, and Lunar Beauty is just so consistent. So that's another reason why I just love purchasing from them because everything that I have bought, like you've seen, almost everything is in my favorites from 2019. Like, they're a very consistent brand. The packaging, like, look at this packaging. Are you kidding me? It's gorgeous. So Lunar Beauty, again, sponsor your girl Manny in 2020. I'm here for it. So those are going to be my top palettes for 2019. If I were to pick one product of 2019, like the best product of 2019, you guys knew this was coming. Multi-chromes. I'm so obsessed with multi-chromes. It's ridiculous. I cannot stop wearing these goddamn Clionadh Cosmetics multi-chromes. Between the Sydney Grace, the 3 down here, and then these Clionadh Cosmetics multi-chromes, I just did like a full swatch party on this. Oh my god, it's so good. Like, if you haven't watched that video, do yourself a favor. I'll give you guys a swatch. This is the one that's on my eyes right now. You're gonna see why. Like, look at this shit. It's so stunning. Like, how do you not like multi-chromes? Stunning. Love them so much. Those were my favorite thing that came out in 2019. I can't wait to bathe myself in multi-chromes in 2020. Oh my god, but Clionadh Cosmetics, Sydney Grace, they're so beautiful. I'll give you guys a swatch of Sydney Grace. I think this is Chameleonaire. It's like, look how beautiful. Stunning. Can't even deal. These are My favorite products of 2019. Give me all the multi-chromes. Okay, last thing up is going to be lashes. My favorite lashes of 2019. I have 3 different brands, okay? First style is going to be the Bold Face Lashes in the style Lashes for Days. I don't have them in here. I use the shit out of them. These were one of my favorite lashes. Amy Macedo is wearing them all the time, and I was like, girl, what the fuck is on your lashes? And these were them. So beautiful. The band on them is just so thin. They're so easy to use, and they're just like the wispiest lashes you've ever seen in your life. They're so beautiful. I need to buy more of them because I'm obsessed with these. Next pair are going to be the House of Lashes Iconic Light Lashes. These are actually what's on my eyes right now. I had one of my brides wearing these on her wedding day, and I was like, what the fuck is she wearing on her lashes? She was like doing her own makeup, and I'm sitting there like looking in her like makeup case. I'm like, what fucking lashes are those? And they were these ones. They're so beautiful. They're just the perfect amount of like wispiness, flutteriness, just all the things that I look for. I love the fact that they're tapered. They're not heavy at all. The band's a little bit thicker, so they're going to be more long lasting. I do really like them. I just wish the price was not so freaking high on them. I think these were like 20 bucks. So, I mean, just for kind of like basic packaging, I mean, they're beautiful lashes, but when I have brands like Batty Bee lashes that are killing the packaging game and they're cheaper, these are my favorite lashes of like all time, at least currently. These are going to be the 3D mink lashes. I have Instaho, Fuckboy, Sugar Baby. I have Saucy. I've loved every single pair. My least favorite, I would say, is Saucy. I would say my favorite pair is Sugar Baby because I feel like they're the most wearable. Like, if you're looking at these lashes and you're like, I think the other ones are going to be a bit dramatic. I mean, Sugar Babies are dramatic, but they're not as bad as the other ones. I feel like they're very wearable, and I wear these all the time. These are so long lasting though. Like, that's why I love them so much. I also really love Fuckboy. Like, I've fallen really hard in love with these ones this year. I was wearing these in one of my recent videos and people were commenting like, oh my god, your lashes look crazy, and it was these ones. Like, these are going to be more dramatic lashes, but again, I love the packaging. I love the price point. Like, these are going to be $19 lashes, which for 3D minks, I think that's pretty affordable. Usually 3D minks go for like $30. And then again, you're getting the high quality packaging. I really love it. Oh my god, one more makeup product. How can I forget a fucking setting spray? My favorite setting spray for 2019 was the Gerard Cosmetics Slay All Day Coconut Spray. If you like pina coladas, you need this setting spray in your life. This is a better setting spray, I would say, if you're looking for a more dewy finish, but this is so beautiful. Very pigmented scent, so if you're sensitive to scents, you may not like this, but I fucking live for this. I love this so much. Definitely one of my favorites in my collection. I'm very happy that I got the coconut because I initially fell in love with the mint chocolate chip, but then I tried coconut. Coconut is my bitch. This is my favorite. So favorite setting spray of 2019 is definitely the Gerard Cosmetics Slay All Day. Again, if you're looking for a dewy finish, if you're looking for a matte finish, I would not pick this one. That's just based on my preference. So that is going to be all of my favorite makeup products of 2019, but it also wouldn't be a favorites video if I didn't forget at least something. So in the case that I do think of anything else, I'll leave a pinned comment down below. Let me know what you guys fell in love with in 2019. If you guys want to see a worst in makeup for 2019, skincare favorites, anything else you guys want to see from me, leave it in the comments down below. If you guys made a Best in Beauty 2019 video, or leave all that stuff down below. You guys already know. Let's just have a chitty chat down in the comment section, shall we? So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope to see you guys next year. Peace!